What's up guys, Virgil here for JRPG Central, and welcome back to part 2 of my 10K Q&A special. I couldn't fit all of your questions into just one video, so in this video I'm going to answer the remaining 20 or so, and hopefully in under 20 minutes, so let's get right into it. Before we get into that though, I just want to say thank you so much to anyone who has pledged on my Patreon. In case you missed it, I started a Patreon. If you'd like to support it, I'll have the link down below, but we already reached my first goal in about a week, and that is just, man, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, enough mushy stuff, on to the questions. Primo asks, what is your favorite non-JRPG game of 2019 so far? This is easily the Resident Evil 2 remake. I love it to death. It's probably my game of the year this year. I, for like a very short time, actually became a speedrunner of it. And at one point, had some pretty great times, some pretty really competitive times. Sadly, being a speedrunner and running a YouTube channel based upon JRPGs don't really coincide, so that kind of had to fall. I'd like to go back to it one day, but yeah, definitely RE2. Michael Chiromonti asks, do you think JRPGs can start condensing games more optimally into an experience that takes 20 hours to tell instead of 150? Michael, I feel like you read my mind in the last video. I pretty much addressed this similar question in the last video, but I really hope so. There's really no excuse for some of these games to be as long as they are. You could totally tell the same stories in far less time, so I hope so. Igor asks, since when and why did you first start playing JRPGs and had the idea to create a channel about it? Well, to make a long story short, I have loved JRPGs basically my whole life, even before I knew what a JRPG was. In 2017, I created an Instagram account to kind of talk about JRPGs and post from my collection just as a cool kind of fun hobby type thing, and that kind of, you know, gained steam, and I eventually thought I'd make a YouTube channel, and here we are. Broken Neck Mountain asks, what JRPG has disappointed you the most? Or on a more positive note, what JRPG has surprised you the most? The JRPG that has disappointed me the most is most definitely Ni no Kuni 2, but you guys have heard me bitch about that plenty. On a more positive note, what JRPG has surprised me the most? In recent memory, it's probably Disgaea 1. I reviewed it when it came to PS4, and loved it. Really wish I'd gotten into the series sooner. KG the JRPG Fanatic asked a lot of questions, but I'm going to pick Overrated and Underrated JRPG. Overrated JRPG is Tales of Vesperia. It's good. It is not the best Tales game, and I haven't even played that many Tales games. And most underrated JRPG, while it's not necessarily critically underrated, I find a lot of people still haven't played Radiant Historia. I would have thought that after the 3DS port came out, more people would have played it, but no, it's still about as obscure as it always was. Now, if they had brought it to Switch, maybe it'd be a different story, but they didn't. Jacob asks, what JRPG universe would be the worst to live out your life in? This is a great question. And the one that comes to mind to me immediately is Final Fantasy VIII. Because, I mean, you're basically a kid, high school student, and also a mercenary, and like in an army, and in really dangerous situations. So yeah, that'd probably be a pretty crappy existence. But then again, you could play a whole lot of triple triad, so maybe it would be worth it. Femtrooper asks, what JRPG would you recommend to newcomers of the genre? And what do you think would get someone into JRPGs? This question is very dependent on what systems they have and kind of their tastes and what they like, but just some off the top go-to answers: Pokemon, Chrono Trigger, and probably one of the newer Fire Emblems. Those are pretty mainstream and a lot of people seem to like them. Though I want to say right now, if you're playing Fire Emblem without permadeath, you ain't playing Fire Emblem. Chaotic Bad Boy asks your thoughts about the Tifa Civil War. I think it's silly, I think it's stupid, and yeah, people should chill. Styles P asks, Skies of Arcadia one of the most underrated JRPGs? I never beat Skies of Arcadia, so I can't really say myself, but I really liked what I played, and it's certainly underrated, just in the fact that like it's stranded on GameCube and Dreamcast, and there's no other way to play it, so at the very least, in that regard, it's certainly underrated. Dan Kanava asks, how is your Trails in the Sky playthrough going? Almost to cold steel? I put down Trails for a while, like longer than I realized, and I'm just now getting back to it. I'm nowhere near close to Cold Steel, but I'm like finally back into Trails, and I'm really hoping to get it done soon. It's going good, kind of, but I'm definitely not close to Cold Steel. Okiyakano asks, favorite JRPG OST? Recent ones that come to mind, Octopath Traveler is absolutely in top 5 of all time for me. That's just, man. Final Fantasy VIII, Radiant Historia, Chrono Trigger. I mean, there's a lot of good ones, but those are some of my favorites. Toshomo Visuals asks, best voice acted JRPG with an equally emotional story as Final Fantasy X. My answer for this is probably Persona 3. Great voice acting, great characters, and that ending though. Gavin's Games asked, what is your favorite Mario and Luigi / Paper Mario game? My favorite is the original Paper Mario. My Nintendo Life 515 asks, who's the best Persona character? The best Persona character is Maya. Surreal Cycle Downey asks, when can we expect to see retrospective / classic reviews? Hopefully very, very soon. The only issue with retrospectives and classic reviews is that you would think that since I've already played it, it would be easier to review, but I find them much harder, honestly, even though I've yet to actually do one proper. One, I would want to replay the game fresh, so I'd have to play it again regardless, just like I would any new review. And also, man, reviewing old stuff is really difficult because as a critic, you want to give your own unique and authentic experience with the game, but you also want to bring something new to the table. And with old stuff, it can be really, really hard. Like, what can I honestly tell you about Chrono Trigger that you haven't already heard from, like, literal hundreds of other people? You know, not saying I'm not gonna do it, but it's kind of tough. And I haven't actually gotten the exact format I want to do for those yet. It definitely wouldn't be like a modern review. So hopefully soon. I'm thinking about it. I'm always thinking about it. I'm always trying to figure out how exactly I want to do them. But they are a work in progress. Jay the Robot asks, did self-doubt stop you for a while before launching your YouTube channel? Obviously, there's always self-doubt with anything like this. You know, putting yourself out there on the internet isn't really the easiest thing to do. I will say I had already done the Instagram. I wasn't like jumping in head first into just completely, you know, empty territory, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Basically, not as much as you would think. It really didn't keep me from doing it as much as it would have if, one, I didn't love, you know, the source material so much, and two, I didn't already have a little bit of a base from Instagram. Michelle Cristolia asks, would you consider doing live streams / walkthroughs in the future? I would love to do this. My problem is I don't know if anyone would watch. If it's something you guys would want, let me know. I mean, anywhere, whether it's Twitter or Instagram. If you guys want live streaming or walkthroughs or playthroughs, let me know. But as it stands right now, I haven't really seen anyone really want that, or that many people really want that. Currently, I don't have any plans in the immediate future. Matthew Vania asks, what's an RPG / RPGs you like that everyone else hates? This is, of course, super easy. Final Fantasy 13. Mark Diaz and Gotti Kratos both basically asked, what do you feel is the system that has the best JRPGs? For me, this is going to go to the Super Nintendo. It has the slightest of edges over the PS1. Both are great, but I think SNES is. And for our last question, a couple of different people asked me, what makes you a JRPG fan? Or what made you love JRPGs? And I don't really have a specific answer for that. I don't think there was any one game that made me realize, wow, I love this genre because of this one game. I think it was a combination of a bunch of things. I think it was retroactively realizing I loved JRPGs without even noticing. Realizing, oh, Pokemon's a JRPG. Oh, that Fire Emblem game that I loved, that's a JRPG. Oh, Paper Mario, I love that game. Oh, that's a JRPG. You know, like as far as what I played growing up. And then I just kind of naturally liked those games, you know, in my teenage years too, so yeah. But anyway, that is it for my 10K Q&A special. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hopefully, I was able to answer your questions with some pretty good answers. Like I said, I wanted this one to go a little quicker, so that's why I made some answers pretty short and to the point. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and a comment and all that good stuff. And again, thank you guys so much for helping me reach 10K. I couldn't have done it without you. Hopefully together we can continue to grow more and more. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I will catch you guys in the next video.